Hey, we're back. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. We apologize. Our broadcaster froze up and shut down. That's because we're trying some new things here. Maybe we'll see how we can get it to work, because we're also broadcasting live on Facebook this morning. So today is our first attempt to go to Facebook Live and also go on our fyntv.com. So I am your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, fyntv.com. We'll try to start all over. It is White Power Monday. Yes, it is White Power Monday. If I was to say Black Power, that would be okay. If I was to take trash cans, as I said earlier, and throw them through the car windows and protest on the streets, that would be okay. If I was to say Black Lives Matter, that would be okay. So if you are tuned in today, expect 2 hours of pure white lash. I didn't say that, Van Jones did. Van Jones said the election was totally white lash, okay? So if you're experiencing white lash, we'll deal with that today. So it's White Power Monday here on FYN-TV. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Everything running now?
Yes, sir.
Have we put the commercials back up, or we haven't tried that yet?
I'm working on
Okay. Okay, so anyhow, let me ask you a question. FYNTV.com, let me ask you a question. If the media was crooked last week, what do you expect them to be this week, right? Now here's some of the things we're going to go over. If they were crooked last week, okay, what do you expect this week? I mean, they have to have somewhere for their satellite trucks to go. I mean, we have seen that in Charlotte, Ferguson, Miami, the list goes on. They have to have somewhere that they can help incite riots. They help incite riots. I mean, so the press is helping to encourage and build up the protesters, giving them a place to spew their anger and hate. And, you know, we've seen all these spoiled brat pictures on Facebook. And yes, it's the everybody wins a trophy generation, and nobody knows, they don't know how to lose. So anyhow, here is what the I watched the Lesley Stahl 60 Minutes interview. I watched the whole thing and I took some notes. The problem at the current time is people don't recognize a leader. Do you realize the last time that the American people actually had, and there's Ronald Reagan for me, the last time that the American people actually had a president that they could recognize leadership from? This is new to a lot of people, folks. A lot of this is new. People are running around trying to figure out what to do. The media does not recognize a leader. They don't understand a leader when they see one. They cannot understand Donald Trump's answers. They cannot understand why he won't give them the full, because for 8 years Obama has done this, and why Trump won't give them the full battle plan against ISIS. Okay, so first of all, you've got 18-year-old kids out there that were 10 years old. You got these 10 to 14 years old when Obama takes office. All right, they've never met Ronald Reagan. I know you're going to say 9/11 and so on and so forth, but the closest thing they come to leadership or remembering any leadership is George W. Bush. Okay, people don't recognize a leader, and it's going to take a minute, folks. It's going to take a minute for people to recognize a leader. So don't get overly upset or concerned. It will take a little bit. Now, it's 66 days, 15 hours, and 48 minutes before Barack Hussein Obama, the current president, leaves Washington, D.C. No, he's not leaving. He's going to stay there. But he leaves the White House. And it's 66 days, 15 hours, and 48 minutes before Donald Trump takes the Oval Office. The reason I say that, it's going to be a long 66 days to navigate through the media, okay? Now, the media is going to leave you to believe this morning that Donald Trump is so interested in negotiating with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. That is absolutely laughable, but they want you to believe that. So 66 days, all right? That's what we have, 66 days. Steve Bannon and Reince Priebus, okay? That's who's in charge. Now, Priebus is chief of staff. Yesterday afternoon, that created a firestorm with Priebus being chief of staff with some Tea Party, the Tea Party Patriots. Now, tonight is a meeting for the Gilmer Tea Party of Gilmer County. They have their meeting tonight, okay? And that's tonight. They have it at 6:30 is the meet and greet, and at 7 o'clock is the meeting, and it's over at Gilmer Arts. Tonight is the meeting. A lot of great Tea Parties in the United States of America. So this is not directed at any particular Tea Party. I don't want to fight with Tea Party people out there today, okay? But I was not waiting, and I want this publicly known, okay? I was not waiting for Jenny Beth Martin. Is that her name? Where do I have it here? Okay. Where is it at here? I want to make sure. Yeah. I was not waiting for Tea Party Patriots founder Jenny Beth Martin to tell me if she was okay with anything. Anything. Okay? Not at all. I have done reports before. Jenny Beth Martin, just look up the salary she receives, look up the benefits she receives in the Tea Party Patriots. I was not waiting for her to tell me anything was okay or not. Okay? Period. At first, the Tea Party Patriots came out, Jenny Beth Martin, and showed a lot of concern about Trump's pick for Chief of Staff. His pick, Priebus. Okay, Priebus. And they wanted Steve Bannon. Now, Steve Bannon is the CEO of Breitbart News. And let me say, first and foremost, okay, Andrew Breitbart, one of the top reasons, very close to the top reasons, Andrew Breitbart, I personally got into this business that I'm in today. But Steve Bannon and Tea Party Patriots Jenny Beth Martin were concerned about Priebus being an establishment guy, and Steve Bannon should have got chief of staff. Well, then after, Donald Trump, President-elect Donald Trump, names Bannon chief counsel, then that's when they come out and they make an announcement to Tea Party Patriots. We are encouraged by the announcement today that Priebus and Steve Bannon will serve as equal partners in the Trump administration. Now, for one, it's disappointing at some times when people in certain positions do not quite understand or convey to the people that they serve, like you out there this morning. I'm bringing you information that they don't bring clear information on how things work. First of all, I want to say I have no problem with Priebus being chief of staff. None. No problem. Okay? This guy is from Wisconsin. This guy is the head of the RNC. Right now, the Republicans enjoy, with RNC leadership, this gentleman's leadership, the Republicans enjoy the majority of all state houses, governor's houses, and the governor's mansions in the United States. Republicans have the majority. The Republicans have the majority of all the state houses in the United States, the state senates and the state representatives. They have the majority in the total United States. The Republicans have the majority in the House of Representatives. The Republicans have the majority in the Senate, and the Republicans have a Republican president in the White House. The guy's resume as the head of the RNC is pretty good. Right now, he has winner on his resume, and he's a quiet person. He's not up front. You know, he's been on a lot of the news shows. I, for one, took him to task in the primary. I said some things about him in the primary that, you know, I didn't care for the way he handled some things. So I want to be up front on that. I've not always 100% been on board with the guy. But from the governor's mansions to the state houses to the House of Representatives to the Senate to the White House, the guy's got an impressive resume. He's a winner. He's loyal. Now, second, where Priebus is concerned, do you realize what it must have been like that day? There was like 17 candidates for this guy. And every single, candidate's campaign manager was on the phone with him. I bet he never hung up from 16 candidates, from Jeb Bush. You know, he was such low energy, he had that of his campaign manager call. But from Marco Rubio to Jeb Bush to Kasich, you name it, all 17 across there, Rand Paul, calling him overwhelmingly, and him having to stay neutral through the primary, and them complaining on a daily basis all day long about something, okay? Now you gotta understand, the RNC is supposed to stay neutral during primaries and not endorse a candidate. But then once they have a candidate in their party, that's how it works, they're supposed to support their candidate 100%. So Priebus does his job in the primary, and he does not endorse a candidate. He plays the balancing act. He does not show favoritism. Some days it look like it, but he doesn't show favoritism. And the very day the RNC got a candidate, Priebus then endorsed his candidate and never wavered. No matter what Trump went through. You remember the Democrats tried to make it sound like that Priebus, the RNC, was pulling. Trump was in so much trouble that Priebus, the RNC chair, was pulling RNC funding away from him for down ballot candidates to try to save. Now, folks, I opened up. If the media was crooked last week, they're crooked today. You remember they were going to reports that they were going to pull the money from Trump's campaign, to help down ballot candidates, because the concern now was they had lost the White House. Trump was a total loss, and they needed to try to at least save the Senate, or at least and save what they can of the House of Representatives. Remember that? None of it was true. Priebus never flinched, never buckled under the pressure, and stayed loyal to Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump rewards loyalty. Period. Now, the chief of staff runs point, He runs point. Priebus, I love what the media wants to do. When they don't know something, when the media does not know something, they make something up. Are you shocked today? They make something up. They do not know 100% the capacity or how Priebus will do his job. Nobody has told them that. But they do know that your standard chief of staff runs point for the president. But no, they're making stuff up that this was an olive branch to the establishment Republican over on Capitol Hill. No, it wasn't. He's from Wisconsin. Yes, he knows Paul Ryan. Yes. You don't have to like it. Look at the people you know this morning. He knows Paul Ryan, But he also knows Scott Walker. And many of you out there were prepared to endorse and support Scott Walker, and you do to this day. You're talking about Wisconsin Priebus is from Wisconsin. Wisconsin came in for Donald Trump with Priebus's help, not Paul Ryan's, and Scott Walker. You would defend Scott Walker today, and we did when the unions tried to recall him in Wisconsin. Priebus was part of bringing that in. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you what, I don't know, but it sounds like there's some pretty decent people. You don't have to like Paul Ryan this morning, but it sounds like there's some pretty decent people up there in Wisconsin. Maybe the kind of place I'd like to visit. Okay? And that being said, okay, Priebus was not, Donald Trump does not do olive branches. He doesn't do it. He knows he's going into Capitol Hill. He knows it's something he's never done before. He knows that there's people down there that possibly his temperament, I will say that, could be some friction down there. So you send a guy down to Capitol Hill, or you send a guy to make some phone calls that knows how to lighten up the friction on the phone and not maybe come across the same way. I have an abrupt personality. I know who I am. I know that. Okay? So there's times when somebody will say, let me go talk to them. And it's best I don't go. It's best I not call. That's best, right? That happens. Donald Trump knows that he needs somebody that's loyal, will give him the information, okay, direct information, and that could call Capitol Hill and say, I want to do this, and it doesn't, maybe the message Trump wants to send is there, but it doesn't quite come out the same way Mr. President-elect Trump would say it. So anyhow, I am totally okay with Priebus being the chief of staff. Totally okay. Just I am. All right? Now, Bannon, here's what concerns me, is people lost their heads over Priebus, and now there's all this backlash. The media is going nuts because Bannon is supposed to be a right-wing, there's no wonder the KKK likes Trump with a guy like Steve Bannon. He's anti-establishment. Folks, if you're concerned this morning, all right, about Trump and will he stay focused on what he promised the American people, you were okay with Steve Bannon and Priebus last week. You need to be okay with him today. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, Bannon and Trump are not about to abandon what they promised you on the campaign trail. They're not about to do that. All right? Now, one, I am so happy to know that in 66 days, 15 hours, and 35 minutes, not only does Barack Obama leave, but also Valerie Jarrett leaves. Now, I'm not saying Priebus won't make it 4 years or 8 years. I'm not saying that. But even with Ronald Reagan, folks, all right, because the reason we're going back just a little bit is it's been so long since we've seen an actual leader. It has been so long since a president is going to take office, an actual president of leadership with leadership skills, that we kind of need to recap a couple things. It's not uncommon that within 8 years, there's 1, 2, has been multiple, even with Ronald Reagan, chief of staff. So Priebus, will he make it 2 years? Will he make it 4 years? Will he make it 8 if there's 2 terms? Okay, I don't know. But I'll tell you who made it all. Now, Obama's had several chief of staff. Remember, you go back to Daley. You go to Rombo Deadfish. Rombo, was he chief of staff? Okay, but let me tell you who's been chief counsel. You want to talk about a position? Chief counsel for President of the United States, Barack Hussein Obama, for 8 years. That's Valerie Jarrett. So we are trading the Iranian-born Valerie Jarrett for Steve Bannon. That's the position you need to pay attention to, is that chief counsel. All right? It's not a new position. He hasn't created anything new. Steve Bannon will be the chief counsel, okay? Bannon will serve. They're not going to be equal partners. That's my opinion. Priebus will have his role as chief of staff. Bannon will have his role as chief counsel. That's all there is to it. And Bannon will sit in every meeting next to the president, all right? And so will Mike Pence, and so will Priebus. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Bannon. Chief counsel, remember Valerie Jarrett. Valerie Jarrett is going and Steve Bannon is in. Now we're going to break down the 60-minute interview. I just wanted to say myself that I thought the interview was great. All right. And it's a true leader. Folks, first of all, let me say this also. Hillary Clinton. People want to know, are they going to convict her? People want to know, is she going to go to jail? All these things about Hillary Clinton. What did Donald Trump change his mind? Oh my God, Donald Trump's backtracking on Hillary Clinton. Let me tell you what I predict is happening here, because everything I watch Donald Trump and see, I for one have not forgotten what it's like to have leadership or how the system works or the process. I think Donald Trump is wanting to see the House, which Trey Gowdy and Chafis. I think he wants to see the institutions, the agencies returned to the creditable powers intended by the Constitution. I think that's what he wants to do. Okay? Period. I think he wants to return to that. Meaning, I think he wants to, they're asking him every day, are you going to get rid of Comey? Well, he has to look to see what Comey really did and the FBI really did. They want to know, are you going to put the special prosecutor? Are you going to prosecute her? We have to get, do you realize the hurdle of getting our Department of Justice, the Secretary of State's office, the Secretary of State's office, okay, Department of Justice, the FBI. Do you realize what it's going to be like to get all of those things back into focus to operate as they're intended and should? Do you realize what that's like? It's going to be a hurdle. So if everything's operating the way it should, there should not be the executive office interference that people have gotten used to. You understand? See, people have gotten used to the FBI interfering. People have gotten used to the Department of Justice and Loretta Lynch interfering and Eric Holder interfering. They've gotten used to that. Okay? They've gotten used to the House of Representatives, actually their power not being respected as the Constitution intended. So I think what Donald Trump is going to do when everybody yells convict Hillary Clinton, I think he's going to allow all of the agencies, institutions, and everything we have under the Constitution to operate as it's supposed to, and then we'll see what happens to Hillary Clinton. I'm going to take a brief break. I am BKP. We're going to go over several things this morning. You're going to want to stay with us. We're here till 10 o'clock. It is White Power Monday. And if you're experiencing white lash on this show, we do not apologize for that. We do not apologize for white lash on this show as you're watching White Power Monday. Okay? I've been told to keep going. So I need to go to break, but I've been told to keep going. Now, huh?
I'll let you know when I'm ready. I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Okay. Cole we're working on some things over there this morning. Cole will let me know when we're ready to go to the break. Like I said, we're doing a couple different things this Monday morning, and trying to get ready. Let me give you a couple things that we're going to highlight today is what about Trump's next campaign? That's right, in 4 years. We're going to look at that, all right? We're going to look at Trump's next campaign in 4 years. And will he build a wall? Don't trust the media, okay? Don't trust the media on the immigration, the wall. They're telling you now he's backtracking and he might put in a fence. Leslie Stahl asked him last night, build the wall. He said, yes. Yes, he'll build the wall, okay? And she said, well, what about, a fence? Well, there may be some places where a fence. We ready?
Yep.
All right, Cole's ready to go here. I'm going to take a brief break. We'll be right back after these messages. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, and thank you for being with us. Cole, take us a break.
What you're looking for in a vehicle, start your search at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. We've simplified the process so you can move on to what matters, your family.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
This is the big one, the 20% off MSRP model year-end clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, with huge savings over $3,600 off the redesigned Malibu. Now just $20,400. Save over $8,600 off Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now just $33,500. 20% off new Chevys. Right here, right now, at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Pizza Hut makes the best pizza in the entire universe, but they won't tell you that. I've been marooned on this planet for a while now. You are an impressive race. Your children know excellent hiding places. Your oceans aren't filled with lava. And you figured out how to combine a grilled cheese sandwich with a Pizza Hut pizza. Surely interstellar travel will soon follow. And then I can finally get back home. Round. Round like home. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one out-pizzas the Hut.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. And some of the things that we're working on every week we're working on new things here at FetcherNews.com. Always working on new things here. Live morning show. Oh, great. Yeah. Some of the things that we're working on every week. I'm sorry, I went here. We are now running the show on Facebook Live. You've heard a lot about Facebook Live. The show now runs in the morning on FYNTV.com, or you can join our page, Fetcher News. So let me go over that this morning. And that is some of the things with our software. We took our software down Friday and we reloaded it, and it's recognizing some different things in a different way. So we just got to have that's why we had to wait get our commercials to run properly, and that's why we couldn't start at 8 on the dot, because the old way the commercials, it wouldn't recognize it. It was shut down. So we're working through a couple things there, but the upside is now if you're a friend on our Fetcher News page on Facebook, the Fetcher News page on Facebook, we're now live on Facebook. So, we're live on Facebook. We like that. And also FYNTV.com. So those are some of the things we're doing here. We're always doing something new. So if you want to find our Facebook page, go to FetcherNews.com, like our Facebook page, and in the mornings we're live on Facebook. Also FYNTV.com. So we're excited to start that this Monday morning. Always something new here. Always something new here at FetcherNews.com. So, all right, let's go over the Leslie Stahl. I told you this morning, this is White Power Monday. If you're experiencing white lash. Yesterday, we've heard for the last 3 or 4 days, Van Jones, self-proclaimed, I guess he's a communist, right? Van Jones, he created the word white lash. And, claims that, how can you be wrong for going out and voting? But that's what they're upset about, is you went out in rural America. We called that here. I don't want to get sidetracked. We called that here weeks before the election, okay? And we said rural America will go out and vote. Go out and vote. Rural America will go out and vote. Now, something that is not being talked about, and I want to hit that this morning, is 1 million or more rock Washington, D.C. All right? The Capitol was rocked today by taxpayers' march and rally that could be the biggest protest ever, potentially dwarfing the Million Man March and the Promise Keepers rally. Though crowd estimates were from 60 to 70,000 according to ABC News, to a high of 2 million by London Daily Mail. Folks, you should have been able to go back to September. You should have been able to go back to September 12th of 2009 and realize the polls were wrong. And realize they don't get it. They don't understand it. All right? They don't understand it. Though the crowd estimates varied from a low as 600 to 700,000 according to ABC News, this is in 2009, we are in 2016, news, to a high of 2 million by the London Daily Mail. Photographs and videos of the march and rally demonstrates this enormity. The taxpayers stormed Washington, D.C. today, that was on 9/12/2009, taking their fight against excessive spending, bailouts, growth of big government, and soaring deficits to the front door of the U.S. Capitol. All week, citizens have been heading to the Hill by the busloads for the showdown today. The Tea Party Patriots, Tea Party Express National Bus Tour has been hosting a series of Tea Party rallies across the nation, across the nation, A caravan of buses, speakers, and entertainers arrived in Washington, D.C. for the march. The taxpayers have paid their own way to the event. They paid their own way there. The White House said Friday it was unaware of the rally. Folks, listen to me right now. Pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. This is one of those things. This is what happens here that you get nowhere else. That's my promise to you. I don't sensationalize things. I'm not going to go down the road. Some hosts just get all sensationalized things, okay? But I'm going to bring you something here and tell you, they still do not get it, all right? You and I got this in 2009, and we've been working towards 2016, November 8, 2016, ever since. We did not stop working towards it, okay? Now, Tea Party rallies across the nation. A caravan of buses and speakers arrived in Washington, D.C. The White House said Friday, this is the Friday before this up to maybe 2 million people, okay, it was unaware of the rally. President Obama has traveled to Minneapolis, Minnesota to promote his health care plan. Remember? At a rally there. He went to promote his health care plan. Now, I'm going to get to that in a minute. But so many taxpayers showed up on Pennsylvania Avenue that the crowd ran out of room and the march was forced to begin early. That was on September 12th, 2009. Now, here's an interesting thing. At that time, everybody there was Tea Party. But they weren't members of anything. They were not members of anything, okay? Now, how come you did not hear anything in this election about the Tea Party? How come? See, what happened after that day is many people went home and organized Tea Party groups, and we're not going to go down the road whether we support them or not. And there were Tea Party groups from coast to coast. Some good, some bad. Period. Some good, some bad. Some found opportunity. They were opportunists. Jenny Beth Martin is an opportunist. She found an opportunity here for her personal star status with the Tea Party Patriots. She found an opportunity here to see that it could be a moneymaker in some way, I guess, to her by some compensation. So some people came home that day and said, hey, I can make this is a great opportunity. I'll capitalize on this. Some people started Tea Party groups all over the country that were good Tea Party groups. Now, I don't want to leave anybody out. I don't want to leave anybody out, but John Williamson here with some others started the Tea Party of Gilmer County, and now they're having a meeting tonight. But the same people that went to this rally on 9/12/2009 came out again, November 8th. Same people, same group, same crowd came out again in full force to the ballot box. And see, it is so reminiscent of that day because, see, the White House claimed they were not aware of the rally. They claimed they weren't aware. Now, my wife, my sisters, several of us in the family went to that rally. Okay? We were there. I was there in Washington, D.C. on that day. On 9/12/2009, I was there. We had homemade signs. We all had homemade signs. We were carrying them, okay? And we went down there, and we weren't members of a Tea Party. We weren't members of a group of anything. We were just Americans. And that day, there were Democrats, there were independents, there were Republicans. That was the American people that descended on Washington, D.C. There was no party that day. There was no Republican or Democrats. There was no unions that day. There was nothing but the American people had had enough. And I'll never forget, there's two things I want to draw on this. I'll never forget that day that one, we watched Marine One from the White House. We watched it take off and go over and see the crowd. So when Barack Obama left to go to Minnesota to do a rally for his health care bill, okay, that will soon be Trump care, all right? When he left that day, he seen the people that were down there. He seen the American people that day that were down there. And he took them for granted, okay? Now, he has been a total disaster for his party, a total disaster. He has lost the House of Representatives. He lost the Senate. He lost state houses. He's lost the governorship. I mean, he's totally been a wrecking ball for the Democrat. He got his 8 years, but he's been a wrecking ball for the Democrat Party, okay? Now, on that day, we had a bunch of speakers out there. But the speaker we remember most, stay with me, folks. I'm always going somewhere if you stay with me. On 9/12/2009, I was on the train with people from Michigan and Ohio. See, this has not changed since 2009, folks. Nothing has changed as far as the temperament of the United States, the people in America. You would have beat Barack Hussein Obama in 2012, but you allowed the establishment out there to give you your candidate. See, these people that showed up that day, and nobody's going to bring this to you other than me. These people that showed up this day have not given up one day, 2009. They went home and they made sure they cleaned house, and they gave the Republicans the largest win ever in the House of Representatives. An historical win. A sweep right through. Okay? Sweep right through. Then they gave the Republicans the Senate. Then they went home and they gave Republicans the governors and state houses. That's these people here. Let me tell you something. 9/12/2009 has not ended for these people. They went home, the state houses, governors, House of Representatives, Senate. They were ready to. Well, I don't understand these rallies. I don't understand the Trump phenomenon. I don't understand why Trump was so... I'm telling you today, these people in 2009, nothing changed for them. Nothing. They didn't forget the bailouts. They didn't forget the collapse. They didn't forget any of that. In 2012, the establishment rammed a candidate down their throat, Mitt Romney. They rammed the candidate down their throat. They put up with 4 more years of Barack Obama, and then Hillary Clinton came, and they said, no, we will not let the establishment pick our candidate again. See, these people have methodically been taking back their country. And they said, no, we will not allow the establishment to pick our candidate again. That ends. Because you could have beat Barack Obama in 2012. And you didn't. All right? I'm just telling you. So they made a decision, these same people, that you're not picking their candidate again, and they picked Donald Trump. And these same people went out in America from coast to coast, and they pulled the lever for Donald Trump, and they're not letting Hillary Clinton anywhere near the White House. Now, the point is, you won't go against the Donald. This is the final straw with these people from 2009. They sent a strong enough message nationally that they came out. This is rural America. You see, that day we were down here in Washington, D.C., I was not bumping into people in 2009 because I was there. I was not bumping into people from Detroit. I was bumping into people from Michigan that were from other areas outside of Detroit. I was not bumping into people from Chicago. I wasn't bumping into people from Cleveland. Rural America in 2009 went to this event. And rural America won the election. You won't go against the Donald. I'm telling you now. They decided this is the President of the United States, and by a sweeping number, and you won't go against him. If you go against him, the American people you will hear from them. It doesn't matter who you are in Washington, D.C. You better not go against Donald Trump because he has a mandate. Now, the media is going to lead you to believe that he has no mandate. Ridiculous, folks. He has a mandate. Now, we'll get into the Electoral College, okay, and saving the Republican a popular vote. They're crying Hillary won the popular vote. All right, we'll get into that. But you can't go against the Donald. If Donald Trump goes up there for the first year and he sends some things up to Capitol Hill that are actually things that need to get done, they will not go against him. He will not, and I just wanted to bring that up because I'm trying everything to explain to people who won this election. And Van Jones, they're mad about the white lash. They're mad about these things that they say white people came out and voted. How dare you? But this started taking place in 2009. The Tea Party, the same people, came out and voted. See, you're Tea Party and you don't even know it. If you don't show up at a meeting, it's no big deal. But the Tea Party, that day in 2009, none of us were really members of anything. It's just a movement, as Trump calls it, a movement. We weren't really members of anything. Somebody said it's a Tea Party. We were, okay. If the way I feel here is Tea Party, then I guess that's what I am. See, you're Tea Party and you don't even know it. Okay? And it's far from dead in this country. It's alive and well. Because you have seen another move by the American people, the Tea Party, in this country. Now, the downside of that is don't get sucked into some of these opportunists over here, like Jenny Beth Martin of the Tea Party Patriots. Don't get sucked into some of these opportunist groups that feel if they can get their name up there, okay? Because, you know what? Union workers that are Tea Party and don't know it. Democrats that are Tea Party and don't know it. All across this country, we're not waiting for the Tea Party patriots to tell them what to do. Tea Party is alive and well. It's a movement, and you've seen what happened. Now, I just wanted to say that because I don't know how to explain this, but I have gotten this since 2009. I've gotten this. And when Trump came down the escalator and he said what he said, I said, whoa, I know the people because I was with them at the meeting. I know the people, okay, that this will definitely impress them. Electoral College. Don't get into the argument with your friends about the Electoral College versus popular vote. I have to agree with Newt Gingrich. What he said yesterday is if the country went to a popular vote, then obviously they would campaign in California and New York. But the way the Electoral College is set up to win the White House, Republicans have they spend zero money in California. And like he said, hey, if we switched it to a popular vote, we would spend money in California and we could come up with 2 million votes. So don't fall for that argument. We will discuss the Electoral College at a later date. Okay, let me go through here, but I just wanted to bring that up of where I knew this was going. Tea Party and don't even know it. The one thing I want to stress to everyone today is don't worry, please. You've got 66 days, 15 hours, and 2 minutes and 51 seconds. Do not spend them worried about, the media said Donald Trump was going to build maybe a fence. Look, they don't understand Donald Trump. So they always think they have something, okay? So are you going to build a wall? Absolutely, yes. Yes, I'm going to build a wall. Donald Trump has not changed? Yes, I'm going to build a wall. What about a fence? Okay, well, maybe there's some areas a fence would work. Now they think they've got him. He's backtracking on the wall. No, he is not, folks. He's not backtracking on the wall, okay? What Donald Trump will do is he's a builder and he will have the whole geographical area. He'll have the border surveyed. He will have people come back in teams and say, from this mile to this mile, we'll need to do this. From this mile to this mile, we'll need to do this. He will have border professionals there, security professionals, and when they get done, every mile of that border will have sufficient, whether it's fencing or a wall, to do what needs to be done to secure our border. So don't fall for that, folks. I just want to make sure, okay? Immigration. Don't fall for he's backtracking on immigration. He is not. States need to thank him. States need to immediately thank Donald Trump today for his steadfast. Gangs and drug dealers are gone. Now look, folks, gangs and drug dealers are gone. He needs to, he said it last night. I'm telling you, you do not realize it because you live in, you live in a protected area in your world, but your federal state penitentiaries are loaded full of illegal gang members that you could, if you have 4 floors or 4 areas to a penitentiary, you can clear one out almost today. And do you realize the burden and the cost and the overhead that we are keeping up in these gangs? Bad people, they're gone. Okay? They're gone. There's no question. They're gone. They're deporting them. They're out of here. Okay? And Donald Trump's going to do that. See, Donald Trump heard enough. Okay? He heard enough through the campaign from people that are suffering due to an illegal killing their daughter, killing their son, rape. He heard enough. They're gone. Then at the same time, he's going to simultaneously secure the border. Now, when the border is secured, okay? When the border is secured, all right? Then start looking at the productive, you may not like it, the productive illegals that are working in this country at jobs. Whether it be like Dave Chappelle said, they want you to believe that somebody's going to pick their own strawberries now, right? Actually, Dave Chappelle did a good job on Saturday Night Live. But I'm telling you now, he's going to then look at the productive people in this country that are not breaking the law. I know what you just said. Well, they broke the law when they came here. I understand that. But they're not out there killing and raping. They're out there building today, working productively in this country. I'm not telling you that Donald Trump won't remove them. He says they have to go back and be processed through. So whether they are driven down to the border, come through a door, get all their processing, and come back and it takes them a week, I don't know. But that will happen. So he's not going to go back on immigration. He's not going to. Now, don't go against the Donald. I'm going to elaborate on that when I come back. And also, the Supreme Court, we're going to elaborate on the Supreme Court, okay, when we come back. We're going to talk about the Supreme Court and many other things, and what will happen with Obamacare. And did President Barack Obama convince Donald Trump to keep his signature piece of legislation, or his historic piece of legislation that he could take and put in his presidential library, which I don't understand these shrines. And will he be able to keep that? Did President Obama talk him into it? Also at 9:30, we're going to start talking about the Drain the Swamp. So I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. George is coming up at 10 o'clock, and we are now on Facebook Live. That's right? Cool. Take us a break, Cole.
Looking for in a vehicle? Start your search at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. We've simplified the process so you can move on to what matters, your family.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Better days ahead.
This is the big one. The 20% off MSRP model year end clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. With huge savings over $3,600 off the redesigned Malibu. Now just $20,400. Save over $8,600 off Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now just $33,500. 20% off new Chevys. Right here, right now. At Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Pizza Hut makes great pizza, but they can't tell you what a gift it is. I can. They took a grilled cheese and combined it with stuffed crust pizza. To think, I almost wasn't here to try it.
How did you?
It's not important, Jan. What's important is that I watched the sunrise this morning. Then I got to stand in a room filled with this pizza. And later I'll stare at the ocean. Or maybe I'll learn Russian. Or listen to jazz. Or try my hand at needlework. Or open a door for a beautiful woman. Or read a human interest story, or make dessert wine, or ride a wild horse, or experiment with watercolors. Eat every slice like it's your last! Especially you, Doug. Especially Doug, right? You care about Doug. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one outpieces the Hut.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Folks, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. You're watching FYNTV.com, and today we're also live streaming to Facebook. So we have our Facebook Live going. That is great. We're getting ready to add another stream source this week. So we're excited about that. So always growing here at FYNTV.com. Let me just make a couple notes. If you would like to be a part of FetcherNews.com, FYN-TV, here's some of the things we're looking for. We're looking for reporters in Fannin County, Gilmer County, Pickens County, Dawson County. If you want to be a reporter, Fannin County, we're looking for a reporter. Dawson, Lumpkin, White, Gilmer, Towns, Union, Cherokee County, North Carolina, Murray County, Georgia, we're looking for reporters. We're looking for a reporter that wants to take on the state capitol. This year's legislative session down in Atlanta to cover that for the North Georgia area here. FetcherNews.com. If we're looking for a reporter that wants to cover the state capitol of Georgia this year. And we are also looking for people that want to be a part of FYN TV, producers, audio techs. If you want to do a show here, much like ours, or a different kind of show, it doesn't matter. Everybody thinks, well, do I have to do a 2-hour political show? You do not. If you want to do a show or have an idea for a show here, you get in touch with me, Chief at FetcherNews.com, Chief at FetcherNews.com, 706-889-9700. Now, let me say this. First of all, the mood of small business has changed. Okay, there's a lot of predictions now that a lot of businesses are saying, wow, our tax structure, there's going to be so many positives. Things have changed already overnight. Although we don't have a new president for 66 days, things have already changed. That being said, okay, we have the protesters. Now, Chuck Todd and all of them yesterday all want to discuss a divided nation, all right? Kellyanne Conway, let me just do this very quick. Kellyanne Conway, do you see her as a 10? I don't know. I mean, I don't, you know, I want to be careful here. Misogyny for 200, Alex. But do you see Kellyanne Conway as a 10? Do you? I don't know. I don't. I don't see her as a 10, trying to stay away from that. So, or do you see her as someone that could get the job done? Don't you think with Kellyanne Conway, the question of respecting women in power positions is solved? Do you realize Kellyanne Conway is the first woman campaign manager to win as campaign manager for President of the United States, to get her candidate elected to president? First one to win a major campaign like this, first woman. Never wavered one day, never flinched, okay? Do you realize that Donald Trump was looking for somebody to get the job done to win? He didn't call Kellyanne Conway in. See, she was not one of the beauty contestants. Take it easy there, Kellyanne. I'm not saying anything ugly. She was not one of the beauty contestants at one of his pageants. She was not getting ready to come out into the swimsuit competition. Donald Trump didn't require her to show up in a swimsuit. Didn't require it. We good, Cole?
Yes, sir.
Didn't require her to show up in a swimsuit to audition for the job. I'm just telling you, Donald Trump gets the job done. And Donald Trump picked. There is no one doing a highlight on how Donald Trump picked a woman to win the first major campaign in this country's history, like Kellyanne Conway. And that Donald Trump will respect and put people in powerful positions to get the job done. No, you won't hear that out of the media. I just wanted to highlight that. I think she did an outstanding job. What you see with Donald Trump is what you get. That's what Kellyanne Conway said. All right, now the election's over, and people are commenting one way or another. What you see with Donald Trump, okay, is what you get. Now, something that Kellyanne Conway did say that I really liked, because I told you this on this show, is that she is claiming, Hillary Clinton is claiming James Comey, the director of the FBI's letter, is what caused her to lose. That's not true, folks. That's not true. What she is doing, what Hillary Clinton's doing today, is answering the phone call from, the president of Morocco and the Saudi prince, and she's answering a phone from all over the world, including her domestic donors here, what few she has. She's answering the phone wanting to know, hey, you see, we invested based on you would win. And she has to give them an answer. And the answer she's giving them is, hey, Comey's letter doesn't come out, I'm a shoo-in, it's a done deal. What happened to baked in the cake? What happened to the Democrats when Comey's letter came out saying that Anthony Weidner's laptop had 650,000 emails and that they were going to review them? What happened to baked in the cake? The Democrats ran around, baked in the cake. It's all baked in the cake, right? What happened to that? No. See, they said the emails was baked in the cake, so there's no deal. That didn't happen. That didn't cause anything. Nothing to see here. I told you over and over, the people of this country were reaching in the mailbox and they were getting their premium increase notices from their insurance carriers, and they were getting the Obamacare letters out of the mailbox. I told you that here over and over, okay? The media wants you to believe, let me just put it like this, I'm just trying to highlight some things, that the media was crooked last week, they're crooked this week. The media wants you to believe that there's a possibility in the 90 minutes that Barack Obama, the President Obama, and President-elect Trump met, that he talked Donald Trump into keeping Obamacare, okay, and adjusting it and making some changes. And that the media wants you to think that when it comes out on the other end, it's still going to be Obamacare light with some repairs. Folks, I want you to keep something in mind. The guy that just won President of the United States lives to put his name on every building, his plane that he owns. And you think for 1 minute he's going to leave Obama's name on Obamacare? I don't think so. I do not think so. You're wanting to know when Hillary Clinton will be convicted. America, you convicted her last Tuesday night. You gave her the worst defeat. You found her guilty Tuesday night. Her dream has been nothing less her whole entire life than being President of the United States. She has put up with Bill for 8 years in the White House. She has put up with she put up with Obama for 8 years. She put up with George Bush for 8 years there, getting herself ready in the New York Senate, going all around the world stealing as Secretary of State. She has done everything she could possibly do to set herself up for that day. And you ended everything. You dashed all of her hopes and dreams Tuesday night. She's been convicted, folks. Now, Donald Trump does not need to, I want to say this, because he does not need to go in on day one and start asking how fast they can arrest Hillary Clinton and how fast they can get her in jail. They don't need to do that. And I'll tell you why, because I for one feel she should be convicted and put in prison along with Podesta, along with Bill Clinton, along with Cheryl Mills, Uma Abedin, the list goes on. All right? There should be a dozen of them, if not more, put in prison. But the crooked media, remember if they were crooked last week, what are they this week? If the crooked media, if he was to do this right out of the box, they would spin that news cycle 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and nothing would get done. You wouldn't get your tax bill done. You wouldn't get Obamacare fixed. Immigration. He needs to come in, all right, and take a year and let the FBI do their work. Let the House of Representatives do their work. Let the Department of Justice do their work. And while they're doing their work and putting all the institutions and the agencies back together, he needs to get the tax reform done. He needs to get jobs going. He needs to get the wall being built. He needs to get Obamacare replaced. Then, when everybody feels so good about everything, he could put her in jail or go that direction. That's just my opinion. So don't get upset. I know what's going to happen. Do not get upset if this guy does not go to try to put her in jail on day one. Don't get upset if that doesn't happen on day one, okay? Could you tell me what a tree rope journalist is? See, I think I may be a tree rope journalist. What's a tree rope journalist? Tell me what a tree rope journalist is. I think I might be one. See, the embedded campaign reporters, your ABC, CBS, CNN, all the above, okay, they can't stand when I show up. They can't stand when Fetcher News shows up. They can't stand when us tree rope journalists, as they call it, show up. They can't stand it. Because tree rope journalists, as the quote was said on CBS by an embedded reporter for one of the campaigns, they get angry when you show up and you say, oh, I'm not with CNN. Oh, I'm not with CBS. Oh, I'm not with ABC. Oh, I'm not with, the media group of, the mainstream. They look down on me. I've gone too many times. I have gone to too many things. I went to the Newt Gingrich. This is what happened. You and tree rope journalists won this election. Okay? I went down to the Newt Gingrich town hall at Kennesaw State. I went down there. I set my camera up. I talked to Newt Gingrich. I asked questions. The whole back row was full of ABC, Associated Press. They were full, the whole back row. They don't even speak to me. Won't even say hello. Won't even acknowledge I exist. And they see me at a lot of things at the state capitol, the fancy camera people. No. See, they're upset because their day, the media's day, is just about over in so many respects. I show up with a camera, I set it up, I do all my own work. They show up with a cameraman with the big fancy camera. They show up with a cameraman, they got a field reporter. I mean, they got 2 to 3 people with them, and I'm by myself. They hate that, okay? They absolutely hate that. So, tree rope journalist, that's what I was called. Yes, a tree rope journalist. Folks, down ballot. Huffington Post, let's go over a couple quick things. White nationalist in the White House. Anti-Defamation League, hostile to core American values. Okay? Steve Bannon, white nationalist in the White House. I'm telling you, Huffington Post. Previous named Trump's chief of staff. New York Times, Donald Trump picks Reince Priebus as chief of staff and Stephen Bannon as strategist. There's something I want to get to here. Hold on, I'm getting there. I'm almost there. Okay. Don't mess with the Donald. Now let me tell you why, because yes, Michigan has come in, all right? So Michigan's come in. Don't mess with the Donald, and here's the reason why. They have come to realize after the election that Trump had coattails. Trump had coattails. You see, the House of Representatives on the Democrats were looking for a 12-plus pickup. I think they said if they went 12-plus, they would call it a good night. The House of Representatives, the Republicans. Okay? They only got 6 on the House of Representatives side. For the Democrats, that's a disaster. They had a disastrous night all around. All around. See, they had the candidate, supposedly. Okay? It was going to sweep them in. There was concerns that Trump had definitely lost the Senate for them. But what we find out is Trump had coattails. Hillary had none. No coattails. Trump had coattails. Okay? You see, this is what happens when you totally campaign. I mean, Rubio went right back in Florida, 52%. Johnny Isakson went right back in Georgia. Kirk. Tammy Duckworth, the Democrat, took Illinois. They lost the seat. The Republicans lost the seat. Kirk campaigned totally against Donald Trump the whole time and was beaten. But let me tell you where they're figuring out today. Louisiana's in a runoff right now, but the Republicans going to get that. Let me tell you where they're trying to figure out right now what went wrong, and let me tell you who you blame it on, is the 4 electoral votes in New Hampshire. Now, Kelly Ayotte, the incumbent Republican in New Hampshire, that went against Trump, withdrew her endorsement of Trump, campaigned against Trump, she got 47.9% of the vote. Now, Hassan, the Democrat that won, got 48%. Now, there's less, seems to be less than 1,000 votes divide these two candidates. 1,000 votes. If Ayotte would have campaigned pro-Trump, Trump and Ayotte both might have won New Hampshire. Ayotte may have won New Hampshire. I'm going to tell you something. Senators do not want to go into midterm because the next election there's a lot of Senate seats up, and the House and the Senate do not want to go into midterms in 2 years. Look at Burr in North Carolina. Right back in, 51%. They don't want to go into midterms and not support Donald Trump because he had coattails. I'm your host, BKP. I'm going to come back, go through the last minute of some things that I want to go over. And look, Trump said drain the swamp. And I want you to listen to me here, real close. We'll come back. We're going to get into some things that we're going to be doing. Trump said to drain the swamp. Folks, what he meant by that is you're all looking for what he's going to Washington, D.C. to do. You're the ones that came out and voted. Now, I'm not taking on any of the particular local, I'll do that when I get back. But what are you doing in your state, in your county, in your city to drain your local swamp? Because I think that's what Donald Trump told you to do. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We'll be back after these brief messages. You're watching FYN TV.
Looking for in a vehicle? Start your search at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. We've simplified the process so you can move on to what matters, your family.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World delivered to you today.
El Rey and Ella J.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ella J.
Better days ahead.
This is the big one, the 20% off MSRP model year end clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, with huge savings over $3,600 off the redesigned Malibu. Now just $20,400. Save over $8,600 off Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now just $33,500. 20% off new Chevys. Right here, right now, at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Pizza Hut makes great pizza, but they can't tell you what a gift it is. I can. They took a grilled cheese and combined it with stuffed crust pizza. To think, I almost wasn't here to try it.
How did you?
It's not important, Jen. What's important is that I watched the sunrise this morning. Then I got to stand in a room filled with this pizza. And later I'll stare at the ocean. Or maybe I'll learn Russian. Or listen to jazz. Or try my hand at needlework. Or open a door for a beautiful woman. Or read a human interest story, or make dessert wine, or ride a wild horse, or experiment with watercolors. Eat every slice like it's your last. Especially you, Doug. Especially Doug, right? You care about Doug. The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one outpieces the Hut.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
going. And we're back. Thank you, Cole. And we're back. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. If you would like to be a part of FetcherNews.com, get involved in what we're doing, our number is 706-889-9700 or chief@FetcherNews.com. 66 days, 14 hours, and 23 minutes until Barack Obama leaves and Donald Trump takes office. Let me go over a couple things here that we have going on. Now, this is where I want you to cut and start, okay? The election's over. We're going to make some changes here, and we're going to try to use maybe the 9:30 hour for 30 minutes a day to start getting into some local investigations that we're going to be working on. We're going to call it Drain the Swamp, and I want to know from you, what are you doing to drain your swamp in your local neighborhood? Okay? So anytime you go to our YouTube channel, up in the right-hand corner, look for Drain the Swamp as a tag word, okay? Always look for a tag word of Drain the Swamp, and that's what we'll put it under. And anything we do, any report that we do, we'll put it under the Drain the Swamp tag. Now, a couple things before we get started. If you question anything we're doing in the direction we're going, my phone number is 706-889-9700 or chief@FetcherNews.com. So in our Drain the Swamp reporting, if you have something to add to our reporting, that's our number. If you would like to do your own report, if you're out there anywhere, okay, and you would like to do a Drain the Swamp report in White County, if you'd like to do now, I'm going to get there in a minute. You want to do a Drain the Swamp report in Lumpkin County, Dawson County. You want to do a Drain the Swamp report anywhere. Get in touch with me, 706-889-9700. I'll tell you how to go about it, and we will facilitate your Drain the Swamp report if it meets, okay, because there's going to be some certain things that you have to do to get on FYN TV with your Drain the Swamp report. So get in touch with me. We'll talk about how to do it. Now, we don't go after anyone. You understand? Here's some of the ground rules, the Drain the Swamp ground rules. We go after no one. Our only interest in our Drain the Swamp segment is the taxpayers' money. So we don't go after anyone in our reporting. So that's one of the rules. If you want to do a Drain the Swamp segment in your local county, it's not because you're going after anybody. It's the taxpayers' money and the best interest of the taxpayers, period. Period. Now, as we start into these reports, if you feel, well, why don't you do this one? I only have so much research time. I can only do so many reports at a time. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to get involved, let me know. All right? I am not saying that all county commissions in the state of Georgia, needs drained. The swamp needs drained there. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying this is something that needs done everywhere. But there are some particular places that it should be done. So, we're going to start laying the groundwork for our questions. The Fannin County Board of Commissioners are getting ready to change, okay? They're getting ready to change, and I will redo some of this tomorrow. They are getting ready to change a new commission board. January 1st, Stan Helton will be the commission chair in Fannin County, all right? And Earl Johnson will maintain his seat in Fannin County. He was uncontested. He won his position, so he will maintain his chairman post, and Larry Joe Sosebee will maintain his chairman post. Now, the outgoing chairman, Bill Simons, has some upside positives in not raising your taxes, and there's several positives. But his transparency was very poor. So if you have to give Bill Simons an A for not raising your taxes, you have to turn around. You have to turn around and give him a D for transparency. Period. I have asked this question, and this has been asked, okay, over and over and over. I want to know why the chairman of Fannin County does not require and has never required an itemized statement from the county attorney, Lynn Doss. Now, our next focus will be for the next several days. Not why Lynn Doss is the county attorney, but why is she able to do what she wants, when she wants, and how she wants as the county attorney? That's my opinion. Is she the only county attorney in the state that just puts in a blanket bill every month with no questions asked? I don't know. But most county attorneys give an itemized bill every month. I think, and we will pull that up, I think hers is just $5,800. Now my question to Stan Helton, Larry Joe Sosebee, and Earl Johnson. Here's my question to the three of you this morning. Will you start the year by appointing her the county attorney, voting on it, maybe opening the county attorney up for bids? Will you do that? Will you, Stan Helton, require Lynn Doss, Dawson Doss, to send itemized billing to the county? At the current time, there's no way of knowing what the billing is for. No way. It's just a blank bill. I think it's $5,800 and some change every month. Okay? No way. So, also, we have some conflicts in the probate court. Probate Judge Scott Kiker. Now, once Probate Judge Scott Kiker is just one re-election because he was uncontested. But Probate Judge Scott Kiker, okay, one, he did not keep his campaign promise from 4 years ago because he continues to this day to take new cases as an attorney, as a private attorney. All right. I do not know this to be true. I do not know this to be true. I want that out there, because God knows they'll come after me. All right. But sources say that, that some of Mr. Kiker's private clients have met him at the probate office. That's what some sources say. That's what they say. Okay, don't know. But what I do know is he's paying Harry Doss from Dawson Doss to be the public defender for the probate judge out of his budget. Now, what's wrong with that? There's only one problem. Or there's several, actually. Doss's wife is the county attorney. And the county attorney, Dawson Doss, represents the probate judge. Well, how do I know that? I sent the probate judge an open records request. He didn't send me anything back. The county attorney did. So how's Dawson Doss, how are they, the public defenders, getting paid out of the budget? I'll tell you, it's got to stop. Let me ask you this. Think this out. Think this out very clearly. We'll get back on this tomorrow. How is Dawson Doss, the public defender for the probate office in Fannin County, that gets paid out of the Fannin County probate office budget every month, But then Dawson Doss is the county attorney that represents the probate judge, but the county pays Dawson Doss to represent the probate judge. Why doesn't that coming out of the probate judge's budget? Now here's the thing that goes hand in hand. On top of that, your probate judge, Scott Kiker, and Dawson Doss, Lynn Doss, are co-counsel on at least 2 cases that I'm aware of. Private cases. None of this works, folks. None of this works. And Bill Simons let it happen. I regret to say, he's letting it happen. He continues to let it happen. He's let it happen for the entire administration. It's your taxpayer money. Okay? Now, should they let Dawson Doss continue to be the county attorney? That's up to them. But they should make them itemize the bills. And they should vote on it. And we should see how many fingers they all have their hands in. How many departments they have their hands in. Okay? And we will go over that. Let me ask you another question. If the county is their client, Dawson Doss, Lynn Doss, if the county is their client, and Lynn Doss is involved in an FBI investigation pertaining to the county, how could she defend her county? How could she defend her client? It's a mess. We're going to get to the bottom of it. We're not going to stop. So do you have something that you want to drain the swamp? You get in touch with me. We're working on that. Okay? We're working on that. If you have something you want to drain the swamp. Who is it?
Jerry.
I can't take him today.
Okay.
I can't. And I need you to mark where that was.
Okay.
Tell him I'll call him after the show. Okay. I got a caller. I can't take it today. Anyhow, so if you have something, you let me know. All right? I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. One more time, let me go over a couple things here. Our number is 706-889-9700, 706-889-9700. If you would like to be on our show at any time, you call us, you text us at that number, we'll get back in touch with you. If you have anything pertaining to the show you'd like to send me an email on, you can send it to chief@fetchernews.com, chief@fetchernews.com. Also, we are looking for reporters in all of the counties. You go to fetchernews.com, all the counties there. We are looking for reporters. We're looking for people that want to do shows. We're looking for people that want to be involved in Team FYN Sports. We got basketball coming up. If you would like to write and keep up with your team in your county, look at our counties, you send me an email. chief@fetchernews.com. Team FYN Sports is looking for you today. Let me go over a couple things. Make sure we didn't leave anything out. This is my last 10 minutes here. George will be here at 10 o'clock. He'll take over for an hour, so you want to stay with George. We're excited this morning. Today is the first day that we actually have run YouTube Live. So if you've seen,
Facebook Live.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook Live. So so this show is now on Facebook Live every day, just like you've watched other stuff. It is now on Facebook Live, and it is also on FYNTV.com. So today was the first day we did that, Facebook Live. So reaching a lot more. I have said this jokingly, but we've called this White Power Monday, and we don't apologize if you've experienced any white lash. That being said, that has to stop. It just has to stop in general, all right? It really does. The protesters, it's a joke, has to stop. I don't want to leave without telling you one more time. Please, folks, we've got 60-some days left before Donald Trump is president of the United States. You will drive yourself crazy if you try to take every fraction of every day, of every hour to figure out what is going on. And if this move he makes is a plus for establishment, if this move's a plus for white supremacists, as the Huffington Post says with Steve Bannon, if you try to figure that out in the next 66 days, don't let that bother you, okay? Remember, if the media was crooked last week, they're still crooked today, okay? The press has built up all of these things about the protest. Now, Trump was asked, he said, I have no regrets. Do you have regrets on the campaign? He said, no, I don't have no regrets. They look shocked when he says, I have no regrets. Let me tell you why all the media looks shocked. They don't recognize a leader, okay? It has been all the way back since even George W., folks. Your kids, don't get upset with your kids. I'm saying in a nice way. Your kids were told they all get a trophy. Your kids were told they can't lose at anything, okay? And your kids have never had a leader. Now, I'm not saying personally in your house. That's up to, I'm talking about in this nation. You got a 22-year-old kid, they don't know nothing about a leader, okay? So don't get too upset because in the media, they don't know how to recognize a leader, okay? They asked him what he talked about with President Obama. He said he talked about the Middle East, okay? They asked him if it sobered him up. Like, was that a sobering experience? He said, I'm a sober person. The press is the one that tries to make something out of nothing. Donald Trump said in that interview. They're looking for how he will conduct himself, okay? Donald Trump said in the interview, all decisions he makes, America will be first at all times. At all times, okay? They said, well, will you continue to tweet out? He said, hey, if I've got to tweet out and put things on Facebook to get around, he doesn't say crooked media, I'm saying it, but to get around the media that will not get the truth out, I'll do what I have to do. He has not backed down on immigration, okay? 3 things he's going to send to Paul Ryan, the health care, immigration, and tax bill, okay? That's pretty much everything. I told you, don't go against the Donald, all right? He had coattails. Donald Trump, let me explain something to you. Donald Trump said, I am adamantly pro-life. The judges I appoint will be pro-life, and if Roe v. Wade is overturned, it will go back to the states. Please, folks, take a minute today and understand how the Supreme Court works. Donald Trump's not going to get sworn in. He's going to get sworn in. He's going to send a judge up for confirmation. That's what happens. Then after he's confirmed, he's going to be on the bench. And then cases are going to come between the Supreme Court. And for 8 years, we've had a president that has gotten involved. The executive office that should not have, the executive branch should not be involved. And Donald Trump's actually going to let the Supreme Court do their job. Shocking, huh? So find out how it works before you jump the gun. Same thing with gay marriage. Don't jump the gun. Well, Donald Trump approves of gay. No, the Supreme Court has made a decision. It will not be up to him to hear the cases. It will not be up to him. His role in the Supreme Court is to appoint the justices. We have to get our institutions and our branches, our judicial, legislative, folks, please take a minute. The judicial, legislative, and executive branches work independent. And we do not need a president, once again, to try to influence the other branches of government, much like we've seen. Trust me, folks, that's why the media is shocked. They've actually not seen it operate, so the answer is no, okay? Here's the question he asked. I've got a couple minutes before George gets in here. I love this answer because It was so real. Are you afraid to be president? I mean, are you afraid? He didn't even wait for Leslie Stahl to finish. He said, no, adamantly, no, I'm not in fear of this job. Folks, that's a leader. You got a leader going in the White House. No. But I like the second part. I will respect it. I loved everything. I will respect the office. I respect the job, the challenge. But no, I'm not afraid of it. Okay? Don't be afraid, he says. Let me see what else. Special prosecutor, they pushed him on. Let me think about it. He says he wants to get his jobs bill done and everything. Let the FBI, they still don't understand. Donald Trump's saying, I'm going to allow the FBI, the Department of Justice, I'm going to allow all the institutions, the Secretary of State's office, I'm going to allow everything to return to the function and function as it's supposed to. Okay? If you do that, the natural order of things will be indictment on certain people for certain things. If you will get out, the president should not be pushing that, Obama, we have to clean house with all the things that he made you, led you to believe was the right thing to do, okay? He made no comment on the FBI, tax returns. He said, hey, the media is the only one that cares. And he will not take a salary as President of the United States. Will not. He says he thinks you have to take $1, okay? He will not take a salary as President of the United States. And my understanding is he will continue, as Kellyanne Conway said, he is who Donald Trump is Donald Trump. He's the person that you've seen last week. I am out of here till tomorrow morning. Again, we are excited about the fact that we brought this to you today through Facebook Live, and we also brought this to you today from FYNTV.com. This is a place that's always going forward, looking for new ways to bring information to you. Do you have a swamp you would like to drain? Get in touch with me, 706-889-9700 or chief@fetyournews.com. Don't wait to get in touch with us. George will be up next, and he's going to be here from 10 to 11. Get in touch with me if you want to be a reporter. If you want to go to Atlanta if you want to be a reporter in any of our counties, if you want to join Team FYN Sports, cover basketball, other things that are going on in your county, you want to be a reporter in downtown Atlanta for this next upcoming session, legislative session in Georgia, you want to get involved in FYN TV, I'm your host, BKP. 706-889-9700 or chief@fetyournews.com. Take us out of here. George will be right up next. Sure, he's got something to say. He's had all weekend to think about it.